Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. I'm going to try and do a little bit of relating here. My idea of a government system where it's kids, they come out of school, they work in the government for 4 years, and then they get out of government and they never re-enter it. So you don't ever have these lifelong people that are easy to bribe because they've been bribed once, so you can bribe them again next election. Okay? Once a person starts down the path of corruption, or the path of purity, or the path of Christianity, or the path of Buddhism, chances are very high they're not going to change. They have decided this is a path they want to walk, okay? So a corrupt individual has no reality of the idea of not being corrupt. That's why the government always tells you the only way to fix things is to be an insider. You have to be inside and part of the thing. That's why Trump got up there and hollered about how he wasn't an insider, even though he was born with a $1 billion inheritance, of which he had lost about 350 to 400 million of that in 1990. Okay, that's about the time the Rothschilds got involved. That's about the time Goldman Sachs got involved with Donald Trump. They realized they had an absolute stool pigeon of an idiot. They could use him for anything they wanted to because he was so stupid he didn't know how to do anything. He only knew how to mouth off and inflame people into being stupid too. Yeah. Now, to really give you an idea and understanding of what I'm talking about here, I'm going to reuse a very real-life situation for me. I'm in Mexico, and in 2016 I wrote an article on Medium.com about how the mice were smarter than the people of this town. Okay, this town is extremely interbred. Okay, you walk around, you can see there's the same bloodlines circulating around and around in circles. You know, people are proud of the fact that just like the morons in Virginia and West Virginia and Tennessee and Kentucky, they like to keep it in the family. So mom and dad have children by brothers or by sisters and brothers and their daughters and their sons, and cousins intermarrying with cousins, and all the things that historically gene pools prove are extremely bad. Anybody that runs around screaming the master race and only this is pure enough to be is somebody who's a lunatic. They don't know anything whatsoever about genetics. They do not understand that recessive genes, when you interbreed, which is why cloning fails when you reclone and reclone and reclone, the depreciation within the DNA structure is so great that the DNA is falling apart and you begin having genetic problems, okay? When you are in a toxic soup of all the pollutants, those recessive genes, of course, make an even bigger difference because you are no longer having superior genes and you are no longer looking to find something that is more intelligent to breed with, whether you're breeding flowers and you want a nicer flower, or you want your cattle or your sheep or your dogs or whatever to be a better breed than the previous one was. The children smarter than the parents. Churches, as a rule, and governments, as a rule, teach you to be dumb. They do not want competition. Therefore, they don't like people who think, and they will go out and execute, kill, throw you out of the church, throw you out of the country, throw you in prison, whatever they can do to get rid of you. Now, like I said, I've been here for 2 years. In 2016, a solid year ago. This is 2018, and I was probably about 14, 15 months ago, I wrote the article about the mice being smarter than the people. a few days ago I had one of these Mexican people come up and start asking questions of me. And his whole behavior, his whole thing, as somebody who has done HR, I have done human resources, I have had hire and firepower in many instances from my own apartments that I've owned, running my own, a dozen or more businesses of my own, and being hire and fire in different businesses for other people and stuff. Yeah, body language on this guy was 100% there. He was coming up the street, he started talking with some other local people or whatever, and when he got to my little stall and stand, he tried to get them involved in looking at my stuff and discussing it and trying to draw me into the conversation. They then kind of moved on and out of the way after they, he asked them different questions of what I thought of this place and all that. And I know enough Spanish at this point in time to know that he wasn't translating everything I was saying. He was talking to them about other stuff. I pointed out to the guy that, well, my biggest thing here is that you people are so proud of the fact that you haven't changed your way of doing business in 40 or 50 years. You don't do anything different. You all sell the same products, and you wonder why none of you are making any money, because you all sell the same thing. And, there's only so many, only so many tourists, only so many customers at a time in the town. He went up and down and through his whole routine and stuck around for quite a while. These other guys went on down the street because obviously they had other things to do and they weren't his friends or anything, but he had made it quite obvious he wanted to become involved in a conversation with me. And I had a dream of somebody coming and putting a performance on in front of me, and I just sat back and kind of recorded it and laughed about, inside myself about the fact that the guy was being a clown in front of me. He ended up asking me why I was able to just continuously win against everybody in town. Nobody here was able to get anything on me. Now, if he was somebody just walking up the street and happened to see my stall and stop to talk, how would he know that I'm winning against everybody? How would he know that everybody that's challenged me is lost? Yeah. So he was obviously played out his hand to the point where he literally explained to me that yes, he was sent here to talk to me and question me and try and figure out how the hell they were going to steal something from me. He did, of course, put in the idea that I have to be a faggot because I'm not chasing all the women in town, and I explained to him, actually it's the other way around. I'm an old man. What the hell do I need a girl for? And if everything in this town is simply a prostitute, and every woman I have met for the past 15 years has been nothing but a prostitute. She will screw anybody for money. She wants status symbol, and she doesn't give a damn about the human being inside. Why should I have anything to do with any of them? I have to see human energy. Therefore, I have never bought a prostitute, because I will see the fact that she is lying to me. I don't just know that she's a prostitute and she's lying to me. I literally see the black energy surrounding her as she lies. Oh, honey, you're so good. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Yeah. What do you see all over everywhere for the past 20, 30 years? Women talking about how they lie about having orgasms with men because they want their man to be happy. Yeah. No, they want the money so they can go buy some bling. But that's the thing. They're not intelligent. They're not breeding intelligently. And like I said, I've seen everything from, I would have to guesstimate the child was, the girl was probably about 10 to 11 years old, and she was pregnant out to here. Okay? The oldest I so far have seen and been able to try and give a dating of an age on has been a little over 60 plus years old. Okay, a little older than me, and a woman still having a baby. Now again, if you know anything about genetics, you know that's absolutely ludicrous. A woman's eggs start when she is, basically in the womb, when she's born, and they ripen out, and within a year or so's time, her eggs are set. At 60 years of age, you don't want to produce a child by that woman because she's got about a 99% chance of having a defective child. So think about it. Your churches, on the other hand, they want to see all that because that's how they get money. You have a defective child and they blame, oh, you're a bad person. No, 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 no. The church is the bad person because it taught you to go ahead and have children at 60 years of age. Okay? Now, to really make this sling really fast and hard in all your faces, stop and think about something. United States, 1960s. Suddenly there was a mass movement for peace and love and all of that. At the same time, the government started coming out with this, women's power thing, and the peace movement was bad and dirty, but women power is really great, and women should go from high school to college to the business world, and when they're about 45, 50 years old, they should stop and go have a baby. Right, yeah, a baby. No. A mutated child. Yes. When you are having defective eggs because you're an intelligent woman, you're going to go have a baby and produce a defective child. Autism, whew, through the roof, huh? Yeah, it's a matter of genetics. They're running around screaming, oh, it's the lead in the water, which helps make it autism. Oh, it's the fluoride in the toothpaste. Yes, it helps. Stop and think about it. You got 50, 60 different things going on and being pumped into your body, ladies. And you're going to run out at a time when your genetics are as poor a quality as possible and have a baby and think you're doing really good. You've just destroyed your life. So you're not intelligent, are you? You're status symbol fighting. You want the bling. You want the money. You want to be smart? Go have that business job and have the baby at the same time. So you're at your prime for having a kid and you're at your prime for having a baby, and let the business suck it up if they can't understand that you're doing yourself a favor because you got a higher self-esteem than the slave tactics that they want you to believe in. You don't like what they're doing, go start a new company. It's that easy. You don't like the United States way of doing business, stop doing business with the United States. It's that easy. That's what I say. The people here are stupider than the mice. The human beings have murdered their planet. I'm telling you, if you go out and you start using children who are intelligent and haven't been programmed into thinking stupid and haven't been bribed, and they understand the fact that, why would we want to do what you're doing because you keep failing at what you're doing? We're going to do something different. Why would they be wrong in running a system? Yeah, it doesn't happen to be wrong unless you're the corruption side of things and you want to believe that you have to keep in power and keep telling lies. Oh, and by the way, it's not that I'm against old people having sex. Yes, I would like to have sex myself. However, there's a difference between having sex and producing a child, either wanted or unwanted, and having sex because you are enjoying your relationship with your partner. There's a big difference. You can have sex and not produce a child. There's nothing wrong with that. There is everything wrong with thinking that you should just keep having kids because it's the Christian thing or the Muslim thing or the Catholic thing or the stupid idiot thing. Think about it. The stupider you are, the more you want sex. That's why governments push hard on throwing titties and ass in front of people and making you as stupid as possible by taking as much learning as possible from you. At, my 200 plus IQ, I have no reason to want to breed with somebody at 100 IQ. Yeah. I'm more interested in finding somebody that's in the 150 to 180 range at least, so that I know, like my son is, he's intelligent and he has a brain that he knows how to use. So as I say, there's a big difference between being intelligent and thinking and what you people do, which, as Einstein says, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity. Yeah, you're insane.